Hello.
Hello.
Hey everyone.
Hello.
Hi Naya. Hey Harrison. Has anyone heard from Caroline or Eve or Chris?
I have not. I know Eve maybe does lacrosse, possibly. And if she does, they might have a game today, but I also think it may have been canceled.
Oh yeah.
I don't really know.
Well, we can wait a couple minutes to make sure everyone's checked in. Okay, well, it may just be us for a little bit. I saw Eve's email. She was, since it's a new night, I think she has practice, like you said, Harrison, until 5:30. So she said she may be able to join late, but that's okay. And I know it's a different night than we normally meet, so I may have some people as well. Well, to introduce the one, the only, Misty Mayhem Graves, wrestler name that was given to her by a former director. But Misty, I'd love to just to kind of like introduce you, and then have you talk a little bit about like what you do, as well as just kind of like, you know, the transitioning of it all, and what that may look like. Yes, because everyone knows that I'm having a baby. I think I told you all that a couple weeks ago.
Daniel,
I am not having a baby.
Well,
my lovely wife
welcoming a baby.
I will be welcoming a baby that I happen to know.
Hey everybody, my name is Misty Graves, and I'm currently the interim director of the Department of Human Services. Daniel and I get to work together quite a bit, and I'm going to be part of Daniel's support team as he spends some time welcoming new baby and acclimating to fatherhood. And so I will actually be spending some time coordinating these meetings for the next couple of months. And so I'll be your point of contact. Anything youth council related, I'll be your point of contact. So I'll make sure that Daniel makes the connection virtually over email, so we have each other's emails and phone numbers in case things come up in between meeting times. But other than supporting Daniel in his paternity leave and getting to hang out with youth council, other things that I do for the department is sort of help to facilitate. I'm sure Daniel's sort of shared a little bit about the Department of Human Services, but in addition to the Youth Council, the department has about 46 employees, and we have about 15 managers and supervisors and leaders in the department. And with that group of folks, we're able to work with direct service with youth and families. We have a mentorship program, a youth internship program. Maybe you all have participated in that. I hope you have. If you haven't, you might want to consider it. The KUP program, we have a service learning program. Another program that we do is work with youth that are in foster care. So we're responsible for recruiting new foster families so that children and teens that come into foster care have a wonderful place to live. And we also do some work with folks that are experiencing some financial hardship, especially due to COVID. So we manage a hotline where folks can call and see if they're eligible for some financial support for rent or utility bills, and just a little bit of everything. So I'm happy to be a part of this group for the next couple months.
I'm really happy to have you, Misty. Thank you. Harrison, would you like to talk a little bit about like your experience at Youth Council and kind of, I mean, because you've been here since before I was here, actually. So you were here during my first ever Youth Council meeting in like maybe November of 2017. And I think that you were in 7th or 8th grade, and you've been here ever since.
Yeah, I joined, I don't know exactly the year, but I think it was right between like 7th and 8th grade for me. And then I think you joined after my, in my first year or after my first year.
I think so,
I think
yeah.
Kind of like, I remember you like kind of met us at the end of my first year, I think.
Yeah.
And so that first year, I don't really remember anything about that. Honestly, that was a long time ago. Then I think the main things I remember is I remember when we did that big thing at the Jefferson School where a bunch of students went and we just did like little smaller groups and focus groups, talk to people about their experiences like in the school system and growing up in Charlottesville, and especially like how maybe their background may have affected that, or how maybe the system was set up to make it harder for someone of their background, which we found out for some people and in some situations. And then I also remember presenting a lot of information like that and things about like school lunches and things to the school board. And then they actually made changes to a lot of stuff, which is really exciting to see. And it was really accomplishing. And then recently, like, I remember last year they were doing a lot of stuff with UVA, which I wasn't a huge part of, I will say, but it did seem really interesting and they did a lot of research. And I think that this group just is a big on just researching things in the community and getting to know a lot of things and finding out information that maybe wasn't known before, and then sharing it with people who have the power to make a change. And that's what I would say youth council is for me.
Nicely done. That's pretty awesome. Harrison, what school do you go to?
I go to CHS, and this is my senior year there.
Congratulations.
Big time. He's going off to college next year.
Thanks for your continued commitment. That's a pretty long term with youth council, excuse me.
I remember when I was taller than Harrison.
Yeah, I grew a little bit. I'm not that tall still. I remember I was definitely really short when I joined.
You are. And I think it might have been the next summer, and I was like, oh, hi. And you're like, yeah, I swim now. Yeah. And then Naya, if you're able to, I know Naya just had a dental procedure, so that you can put it in the chat or speak whatever you're comfortable with, but kind of talking about your experience with youth council so far.
Hi, I just joined this year, but it's been a really good experience, like with getting to talk to different people in the community and stuff. So yeah, Daniel does a good job of like reaching out and getting other people to come and like share information with us.
Yeah, you make it easy.
Your first year, and what grade and what school are you with?
I'm in 10th grade and I go to CHS.
Very nice. Okay. What's your favorite thing to do outside of school?
I do a lot of like mutual aid in the community. So like I like to take care of people. And also I work at Chick-fil-A.
Nice. Okay. Nice.
Naya, what Chick-fil-A do you work at? Which one?
I work at Barracks Road.
Oh, okay. So that's the new one, right?
Yeah.
What about you, Harrison? Daniel mentioned that you swim. What's something that you do outside of school? Did you say swim? Did you say swim? Okay.
Yeah, well, I swim, and I had been swimming for club, and I swam for like multiple clubs actually in the area. And then I also would do like summer swimming with Fry Springs, and then I would swim with school too. And then my school season just ended, which was really exciting. And we went to States, which was fun.
That's so cool. Congratulations.
Other than that, I also work. I work at Vivace,
Okay.
like an Italian restaurant, if you know that one.
I've never been, but I've always heard good things.
Yeah, it's a nice place to work, and I don't know, I enjoy it. So I work a couple times a week there. And then like right now, I'm not really doing much after school since swimming has stopped, but I do a couple clubs, like Spanish club, and then I do Habitat for Humanity and also Green Bacon, which is our environmental club.
Oh, right. And you used to work at the Discovery Museum, right?
Oh, yes, I still do that, usually on the
Okay.
weekends. I'll go in.
You're just not busy enough.
Yeah, I'll go in on usually Saturdays to help out at the Discovery Museum on the mall, which is fun.
Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, and so so thinking about the next couple of times that we are going to meet, I wonder, and you all can answer this question for me, at least from your own perspective, and I'll probably send out another email about whether or not we would rather switch our meeting because it was every other week, right? And then we missed last week and now we're on this week. So we can either meet next week and kind of have like back-to-back meetings, or we can meet every other week starting this week. Does that make sense? And then Misty, you can let me know or let us know like your schedule and how that works. We've tried to do Thursdays at 6 is normally our time to meet, but whatever works with your schedule as well.
You said it's usually Thursdays?
Usually Thursdays at 6. For Naya and Harrison, is this something that like, do Thursdays at 6 still work for you if we were to go again next week, or would you rather wait a week?
I think either one works for me. I was just thinking about when spring break is for us, because I know like
Oh, right.
So I was just
so true.
I was trying to think about which one would like make it so we don't have to skip a meeting.
Mm-hmm.
When I probably wouldn't be able to go because I would be out of town.
Right.
Like traveling maybe.
I would say that if we met today and then maybe meet a week, like, skip a week next week and then meet, because then that'll make it so we're off for spring break.
Okay. So you just figured out. Awesome. So next Thursday. And then start 2 weeks after that. 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That point in 2 weeks. Okay. Misty, does that work for you?
So my kids have a different spring break. So say the dates out loud, please. So Thursday, the 24th?
The 31st.
Okay, so I am on spring break the 31st. But that's not to say that we can't find someone to host the space.
That's true.
We got friends in the department that can help us out.
We do a double guest, the guest of the guest. So I can add.
I was gonna say we could do next Thursday, the 24th, and then could like take a 2 week break before the next one, I guess.
Naya, how do you feel about that?
I'm just looking at my calendar. Sorry.
Oh no, it's okay.
24th. I'll probably have to work the 24th because I didn't know we were gonna have a meeting today, and so I had to take off last minute, and I don't want to have to do that again. So
yeah,
I don't know. I can if I need to, but
no, I understand.
So it's the 31st, skip a week, and so it would be the 14th, right?
Yes.
And then the April 28th. May 12th.
And then sometime after May 12th is when we would have our meeting with City Council.
So you need to have your meeting with City Council in May. So they're on the 1st and 3rd Mondays. So the 16th would be showtime.
Oh, Eve's here. Hey, Eve.
And then the next one would be May 26th.
Oh, after the City Council, that's like kind of like our last meeting. Because then they get into
the City Council is the last meeting.
And then they'll get into their finals and everything like that.
Okay.
Mhm.
And when does the new cohort come on board?
So I was just emailing Max about this, and she's received 8 applications, which is really great.
Nice.
Yeah. And there was actually even one student that emailed me saying that she couldn't submit hers, so it might be 9 in the end. So Max said that they're going to go through the applications in the next couple of weeks. And I don't know if they will start immediately after like city council approves whoever, or if they will start like in the fall when we start back up again.
Do you guys, does youth council typically not meet in the summer?
Yeah.
Okay. So I think we should stick to that schedule since that's what everyone's used to. And Daniel and I will find someone to host and facilitate the meeting and take good notes for me and Daniel. And then I'll just pick up on April 14th and do April 14th, April 28th, May 12th, and help you all prep for your presentation. And I'll introduce you to council on the 16th meeting.
Awesome. Yeah. And then for those meetings, I know I've asked this before, were there any people that you all were looking to meet with or talk to inside of like the community? So that way I can reach out to them and kind of get them booked kind of in advance.
Do you still possibly have that list we made that meeting like a while ago?
Yes.
I feel like we had like a few more people then too.
Right.
We said
check. Oh, you asked for someone from Sarah or She. So Sexual Assault Resource Agency or Shelter for Help in Emergency. 2 people I know that would love to talk to you. Definitely them. Oh, funny, Girly Run Crew, which I'm repping right now. There's actually a person that used to run and work in our office now helps with Prolific Run Crew, Cheryl. KUP, they want to talk to Annie at KUP as well. City of Promise. Yeah. Okay, I can reach out to some people. There's a person named Alex who works with the Shelter for Help in Emergency that I think could be really fun to talk to. There is also Jada who works with the Sexual Assault Resource Agency or Lori Jean. So yeah, so I can get those, I can talk to them and see which one of those, if there's any you all have preferences for, you can tell me, but they'll likely, hopefully be available one of the next 4 dates, or at least 3. Sarah.
I was going to suggest maybe limiting it to 3 so that the 12th meeting is just for presentation prep. But I thought maybe like She and Sarah could share time, like split time, 30 minutes and 30 minutes. And I think KUP applications are usually due the end of April. Or like May 1st. So maybe Annie could do a presentation on the 14th. And maybe buddy up with someone from Prolific. That way you get 4 speakers, 2 days.
Yeah.
I was also gonna recommend someone like someone from Region 10 and like the schools. I don't know who, but I don't know, someone. I don't have any names.
Oh, okay. Have you ever heard of Zarina?
Yeah, Miss Burge, I think it is.
Yeah, yeah. Would having her be helpful? Would she be a fun person to talk to?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I will email those people, Zarina, Annie. I'll probably text Cheryl and someone from Sarah and she. Mm-hmm.
I think you can still like assign however many minutes, like 20 minutes each, and still have like 5 or 6 presentations. And then the 28th and 12th can be sort of set aside for planning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. I will reach out and see who is available, and let you all know, so then that way we can get, this is planning, and see who we're able to get on those days, but it'd be good. And they ask a lot of really good questions. So that's normally, we'll have one person and they'll kind of be like, 20 minutes or so, and then like 40 minutes of just straight questions. Especially Naya is like, let me tell you, I got some questions for you and what you're doing for our community. Awesome. Cool. Are there other things that you all want to talk about? I know tonight we were actually supposed to have a presentation, or I guess last week, we were supposed to have a presentation from Chris, because Chris was actually talking about, Chris is one of these council members who had mentioned that he had done like a survey, or asked a couple of people like in the lunchroom, just kind of about various questions. How many AP classes do you take? Do you think that we should limit the number of APs? Like just kind of general questions about like their school experience. And he was going to present on that tonight, or at least last Thursday, but he wasn't able to make it tonight. Yeah, so is there anyone else that had anything that they wanted to bring up or talk about for tonight?
I just kind of had like a thought about like school things. It's about like the guidance counselors and stuff. I feel like just like at school, especially some of the younger kids, they don't really know who the guidance counselors are. And I think a big problem in that may just be that we have so many new guidance counselors and they're switching around a lot right now. So like you can't really get to know them since you may be switching every year. But I have seen it like multiple times where people not know who their guidance counselors are. And then when it comes to like planning classes, they don't really have someone to talk to because they don't like know they can reach out to this person. They don't like get to know them at all to help plan for classes. And I think that could be a big problem for some people because they like, don't even know about maybe the AP classes that exist. So they just like keep on taking the classes, even though they probably could go further.
Yeah, that's something that and it may be something that actually maybe we even go into pretty deeply next year, is just kind of figuring out, like this, we say it's not a 2-track system, but it feels sometimes like a 2-track system, of where students can go. I mean, I've even, like Chris was saying before about how like, yeah, I had friends that I, was friends with before I went to STAB, and then I came back to CHS, and then I like, sure, we're in the same school, but I never see them. We're just in totally different classes, and I have no interaction with anyone except for like on the baseball team. And so maybe thinking about ways in which we can kind of do a deeper dive into whether it is the standard versus advanced diploma, because that kind of like that's the end result, a lot of what you see. But it's just so interesting because I remember, so I got an advanced diploma when I was in high school, and I went to a Virginia school, North Stafford Wolverines, and I still knew everyone that was there. And my school was bigger than CHS. My school was actually the size of Albemarle. And it was not like you were either in like this part of the school or you were in a different part of the school. But I hear that a lot. And it's something that, I mean, even from people have been talking about, like you go through the Quest program, and the way that it used to be, you'd kind of like those kids that were in Quest were the same kids in honors, were the same kids in APs, and then you graduate with an advanced diploma together. So I wonder if that is like, you know, talking to the guidance counselors and seeing maybe what we can do to help them to share more of what they're doing. If they are overrun or they have too many things going on, maybe there's like other ways that we can, you know, offer listening sessions or conversations as youth council about like, these are the courses that we took and these are really helpful for me. Or one of the things that we asked them during, do y'all remember that during the presentation to the city school board, we had said to try to make it optional for you to take that, oh gosh, the math class that is, it's a special math class. I cannot remember what it's called, but it's like, oh, I'm gonna forget it. There's a math class that you can take where basically like if you take this math class during the school year, you like, it's almost impossible for you to get an advanced diploma. But if you take it during the summer, you can still be on track to get an advanced diploma. I can't remember what it was called. It was like, I don't know if anyone remembers. It's not like algebra or anything like that. It was something, I'll look it up and see. But the suggestion was to take it during the summer, or to have people offer the option for them to take it during the summer, because it makes it a lot easier. It still gives you the option to finish out, and you wouldn't know that unless, you know, you did the math and saw, okay, I need to have 4 registered math classes before I graduate in order to get an advanced diploma. And this class, this algebraic equations or something like that, it doesn't count as like one of your 4 core math classes. So if you took it one of your years, then you wouldn't graduate with an advanced diploma unless you took math twice in a year. Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was fractions and equations, or I'm gonna remember it. Okay. But I think that like kind of like talking more and figuring more about like what we can do, what role that we can play as youth council, and helping to, you know, pull apart this 2-part system. And it could even be just like writing a letter to the state legislator about taking away advanced and standard diplomas and just giving out 1 diploma like most states do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Even reading applications, I remember when I was reading applications for University of Richmond, it was like, yeah, everywhere else has you just graduate from high school. And then in Virginia, it's like, nope, you graduate or you graduate. It's like, what?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes,
but I'll definitely keep in mind the counselors and to see if there's anything that we can do to help out with that process. Do you all know, or have any of you all ever been one of those that kind of like help you out intro guides that for people that are going through their first year at CHS? I'm forgetting a lot of words today, but the people that help you with, maybe ambassador, it's like older CHS students that help out the first year students.
I think they call it like peer mentors.
Something, yes.
Like that, yeah.
Yeah. Were any of you all like that? Or I know Naya, you had said that like obviously your freshman year was like during COVID. So like, I don't know if you got that same experience or if you had a peer ambassador mentor.
No. And I think that's just because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
So like we kind of had to like figure things out on our own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like you can tell that like a lot of the like 9th graders this year are like confused. Like they like not confused, but like they're lost kind of. Like they don't really know like a lot about the high school. So yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they had a half year at Buford, I guess, and then now they're in high school.
I also know like CHS used to have a link crew, which was like made up of
Thank you. That's what
students,
it was.
and they would have
Link
like
crew.
do
Yeah.
orientation, and
Right.
they'd like meet with the students in their groups like every so often during the school year. But like that's not a thing anymore, I don't think, like at all.
Really? Oh man.
Know what happened to that? Because I remember I also like wanted to join right before COVID hit.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I think it just didn't happen.
I'll look into that because that's like a really helpful. I mean, you get an orientation advisor when you're like in college. Like it's really helpful to have just someone that's been there before, even if they're only a sophomore. Someone that's just been there before and that's like, yeah, this is kind of, this is where you eat, this is where your classes are, these are the sports teams, whatever. But someone that can be a peer mentor, I think is really, really helpful. I will ask around and see if the link crew is still linking.
I did that in college. I was one of those orientation people. So fun.
Yeah.
Just a plug if anybody's interested, if you're going into college after this high school experience.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really cool thing to do, to give back after you've had your first go at being a freshman.
Yeah. It's like, there's a couple of things that you only can do certain times, like when you're in college, and like orientation advisor, highly, highly recommended. I was one when I was at University of Richmond, and it's just like, it makes your experience better by being able to talk about what you did and mistakes that you made and what they shouldn't do, what they should do, things you wish you had done. It just kind of like makes the experience just that much better. And so I definitely recommend orientation, studying abroad for sure. Because if I didn't study abroad, I don't know when I would have like just randomly had the time to go to Jordan for 6 weeks. Like that's not, you don't just have that opportunity and money and reason just to go to a foreign country. So studying abroad is something I always recommend for sure. Mm-hmm.
Can I pose a question? And maybe it's already been discussed.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about what Naya said about like sort of freshmen feeling lost and not have, maybe there's no link anymore, or we're not really sure. But when Daniel mentioned that there's potentially 8 or 9 new people coming into this, what does like freshman orientation or link look like for youth council? Like how will the new members not feel so lost or things like that? Like what was it like for you when you were first joining, and what might you all do for the new people? Do you guys have like a process for what happens?
Maybe Harrison could talk first because I'm new.
Well, when I first joined, it was kind of like a big group when I joined, I'm pretty sure. I think it was like around like 10 people. And it was also like a good amount of people who were like very like outspoken, I feel like. And so it was kind of, I don't know, it was really awkward for me because I feel like everyone else was talking about these really deep concepts and topics really comfortably. And then I would be there just like sitting in the corner for the first little bit, just like really uncomfortable because I didn't really think one. But as time went on, also I think what really helped with it was when we were in person, in that like living room area with the couches and the chairs. It was like a nice, comfortable area to be comfortable with everyone in this group. And I quickly like got to know everyone pretty well, just like sitting next to different people on the couch at different meetings. And I think I got to know everyone pretty well, pretty fast. And it was really nice.
Yeah. Thanks for saying that, Harrison. I remember now when you came in, you did have, I mean, it was like Ziana was like a member, and the twins, and Ben, and Margaret Ann, and just like people that were like really like,
yeah, who could like get into a topic and talk for like 20 minutes.
really intelligently about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was just like a crazy thing to like be in that room.
Yeah. There was a lot of leaders. It was really, really cool. And to be sitting in a place, when everyone's so awesome. But so I agree. Naya, is there anything, or as we're thinking about like bringing on more people, what do you have to say about that?
I don't know. When I first joined, it was really chill. I feel like I feel like youth council is very like chill, so like it's very laid back. So like you don't have to be so like uptight. Yeah, and you don't have to like really like think about things really deeply. Like when we talk about things, it kind of just like it's like stuff that you can like easily like talk about. If that makes sense. Yeah. But I feel like we should like the new people coming in, maybe they can like fill out something for like you, Daniel, or Misty, or like in us to like look over maybe like just things about themselves so that we can like get to know them before they have their first meeting, because like it can be weird if you just get on a meeting for the first time and like they like like you don't know anything about each other, like so even if like we just knew their favorite color or something like
Yeah.
To follow up on that, I don't know, Daniel, if you were there first, but when I remember my like first 2 years, sometimes at the beginning of the years, we would always play like when we were in that room in the house, we would play like a game with a little ball, like one of those like dice balls.
Oh yeah.
Where each would have like a different question about you. And we would always like throw it around and like answer the questions at the beginning while people ate everything. Just like get to know each other at the beginning of the year. And I always remember that was really nice because it was kind of like a fun way to get to know people.
Yeah. It just brings back so many good memories. Daniel, where are the beach balls?
I don't know. I know exactly what he's talking. I know exactly what he's talking about. It has to be a 907.
They're so fun.
They are. They have a lot of good questions on them. Yeah.
That's a good memory, Harrison. Thanks for sharing that. I love those things.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, where is that thing? I don't know.
I bet they're over at 909. They moved out to the other building.
That's true. I'll look and maybe commandeer one for our next an in-person meeting that we can have. But it sounds like it's getting to know people. It sounds like that's really, really important. And we did do a lot of that back when we were in person. I know that we would spend almost like the first semester just kind of like getting to know people, having, doing a quiz and a personality test and talking about our, things that we were excited about, and then kind of planning to do some research in the spring. So it sounds like that may be a good opportunity, and it doesn't have to be like a full out like retreat, but just kind of like, just something to kind of give people an opportunity to get to know each other a little bit more.
When will in-person things start back up for youth council?
That's a wonderful question. I'd love to ask the director of human services. I think the answer is we don't know. If I'm paraphrasing, we just don't know. They are having a meeting about it in city council because, as I mentioned before, that we're a board and commission for the city, and so there's certain legislative like reasons as to why we have to meet this way with a recording on a city line during this time. And once the emergency ordinances or other things pass, or there's a change in which they say you all are welcome to meet in person again, then we will then have to follow a different set of rules, which include like posting in physical paper on City Hall the time and location and date of meetings, and a bunch of other rules that we need to abide by, city calendar, etc. So we don't know. I don't know if it'll happen before the end of this year or if it'll happen. I would venture to guess. I'm not even gonna say it. We may meet in person at some point. And when that point happens, I will send you all an email as to where we will meet, and then ask you also what you would like to eat. since they're later at meetings later on at night.
I think there's some interest to having a hybrid option so that folks, if they want to meet in person, that they could meet in person. I think for the public boards and commissions like this one, there needs to be a safety plan in place, which has to be created by the mayor and city manager. And once they approve that safety plan, then we can get permission for in person. So something that Daniel and I can do is advocate if this group decides, hey, we'd like to really consider this hybrid option, we can investigate that a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it would be nice to meet in person because I just think it would be better. I think it's easier to get things done when you're face to face, even if it's like, even if it's like socially distanced, it's still, I think, more productive to be with the people you're talking to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it really is. I've definitely felt that for sure. Awesome. I'm looking at my notes. I don't have anything else. Were there other ideas or things that you all wanted to talk about or that I can look into in between now and the next meeting? Okay, well, this has been awesome and I'm very thankful for you all. And excuse me, more about, I'll send you over like a big email with dates and who's going to be coming and when and all that stuff before I leave. So you all will have all of that. I don't know what it's like to have a baby, so I would not make any promises about when I will see you again, but I plan on, if nothing else, I can say this, if nothing else, I will drop by with a card and a thank you just for your time at Youth Council this year. So be on the lookout for that. And that's like, I'm talking like May, June, right? And I'll be at CHS's graduation. So I know that much. Mm-hmm. Cool.
Thanks for letting me spend some time with you all over the next several weeks. I really look forward to getting to know you all a little bit better. And feel free, once Daniel sends out that email, you'll have my contact information on there. So feel free to reach out anytime.
Okay, thank you both.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks everyone.
And goes well.
Yeah, I know. Thank you, Harrison. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're excited. Awesome. Well, we'll see you all later. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.